Yes, Jonathan.
Follow-up. Aside from the, shall we say, external symbols, do you have any problem with the values that are being espoused in, say, Fullmetal?
That's an awesome question, too. You know what? Somebody asked me one time, if you could sum Fullmetal Alchemist up in one word, what would it be?
Sacrifice.
You saw that panel, Penny. You're an evil person. You're a homunculus. There's lust, and greed, and envy, and you're gossiping. This is the new homunculus I just created. Yeah, I think that whole show is sacrifice. It's about sacrifice. And there are so many wonderful values that can be espoused in a lot of good shows. I think that's one reason people are drawn to certain shows. Sure, the animation is pretty. Sure, the music is nice. Sure, there's a lot of action. But there's something really that draws you to shows that have those deeper qualities. And yeah, I think there are a lot of wonderful values to be picked up in a lot of anime shows. Even something as wacky as Oran High School. You know? Oh, it's the twins, too. You doppelgangers. You know what? When I did that show, I thought it was just like this funny, wacky, crazy show. And it was, until you got to the last 3 episodes. And suddenly you're like, oh my gosh, you know? Tamaki has made this club because his family, he has such a horrible family. His grandmother hates him. He's been thrown around. He was taken from his mom. He's in one of these cold, cruel, rich homes, and you know, and kill you. And their parents like beating on them. You're going to do this, and you're going to take over the company, and you know what I mean. And suddenly you find these wonderful character interactions, these wonderful, endearing values and moments that you never imagined in such a wacky, funny show. I love that about anime. That's one of my favorite things. Yes. Wow, this is a deep panel, isn't it? You guys are going to walk out of here like 10 pounds lighter. Wow, that really took it out of me. Yes.
Before I get to my question, I would like to add to the girl up there with who had really deep questions. I also am raised in a Christian home. My dad is actually a pastor. So I would point out to them that the main bad guys in Fullmetal Alchemist are the 7 deadly sins.
Yeah, I always thought that was interesting too. Yes. Yeah.
But what I wanted to ask you was, I just recently started watching Fullmetal Alchemist like a couple of weeks ago, so I'm not even finished with the original series.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been watching Bleach for a really long time. I'm having trouble figuring out which character you were.
I play Ikaku, the bald soul
Yeah, that's
reaper
what I
guy.
was figuring, but your voice is...
Lucky, lucky!
Yeah,
I should shake my head, that would help. You know what? Can I just tell you something? An hour is never enough time. It's never enough time. I could talk with you guys all day. I love doing these panels with you guys. I love it. Question?
Is there anything you can say about Air Gear? Is there another second season?
Oh my gosh, I love that show.
It ended in the worst way.
I know. You know what sometimes happens with these anime series, you guys? It's the weirdest thing. They'll start these shows, and then, like, they'll run out of money or something, they'll just stop. They'll just quit. Like, I'm right in the middle of this amazing story plot, and like, and the end. And you're just left hanging, you know? Sora?
Yeah.
Oh, do you really think he's evil?
He's evil later.
I just think he's misunderstood. Listen.
I won't let my Christian children watch it, that's for sure.
I'm just kidding. No, Air Gear was a fun show. Yeah, I think somebody told me there's more Air Gear. I just haven't seen it very well. Yeah, sweetie?
I was wondering, I'm really into anime, so I also was going to ask you about William Shatner if you finally got to meet him. Congrats! So I know, like, Funimation doesn't always get to dub, so out of all the animes you know, if there were one that you haven't dubbed that you could have been in, what would it be?
There's one coming up that I would love to be a part of, Vampire Night. And you know what? There are several series that I wanted to be a part of, that I wanted to play a certain character and I didn't get to. And people used to ask me, are there any characters that you wanted to play that you didn't get to? Well, sure, there are always going to be those characters. Any actor you ask will say, oh yeah, there's a whole long list of roles that I wished I could have played. But I stopped about 2 or 3 months ago. I stopped saying which roles I wanted to play that didn't get to. Because somebody pointed something out to me and it never occurred to me. Somebody pointed out to me and they said, hey Vic, you know what? I understand that you don't mean anything by it when you say certain characters that you wish you could have played. But the actors who actually did get cast could take that the wrong way. The actors who are actually playing the role could maybe think that you're somehow saying that you should have gotten the role, or that you would have done a better job with it. And I'm like, whoa, that's never what I would mean. And they're like, oh yeah, I understand, but it could be misinterpreted. So I stopped, learned that lesson, and stopped saying specific characters I wish I could have played. Because the guys that did get cast are doing an awesome job. So I'm very grateful for the roles I have gotten to play. You know, when I auditioned for Fullmetal Panic, I wanted to play Sosuke Sadrak. And, you know, he was the lead, and I wanted to play the lead, and that's the big role, and I didn't get cast, and Patton did an amazing job with Sosuke, but when he started the show, I'm like, oh, I'm playing Kurt's who? Okay. But as we got into the show, in my opinion, maybe this is just my taking pride in that character, he's a lot more fun, he's got a lot more personality and attitude, and I loved playing him. I would have never thought that, but you know, that's just the way things work out. Sometimes the secondary characters are often a lot more fun, even, you know?